So today we are in Mrs. Dollar Knot's bedroom. Not a great source of excitement in here, but just giving you this tour, the continued tour of the lower cost living where I live. So as we step inside, here to the right, you're going to see this thing that looks like a curtain, which is actually a closet, which I've just partially covered to you know, just kind of disguise the mess. Let's just put it as best we can. Disguise the mess. I have a chair here and some artwork also. But this is actually one of my closets for my clothes. The bedroom itself only has one closet. And as you can see, it's kind of a small closet. It goes back a little ways in there. But it houses my husband's clothes, and all of what he wears fits just fine in there, as well as it's kind of hard to see for the lighting, but there is a shelf, and he's got a bunch of junk crammed up there, as well as underneath his clothes. He's got more stuff in his laundry basket and things, and one of our cat carriers, because we have to have those. But we're behind the closet, and you'll also notice it's another thing here that doesn't have a door. Apparently the closet door was taken off, or it never had one. I'm not sure. It looks like it had one at one time. There is a notch for the hinges, I see, but it wasn't here when we got here, and landlord's not going to put one on. So that's the closet situation here. One small closet, so not big enough for the both of us. We don't have enough dresser space either to house all of our clothing. So we make do. I try and get creative. It's just a picture that I find cute. It's a squirrel. I get creative with the way I organize, like my jewelry. I use one of these old cup racks as a jewelry hanger. And on the back of the door, there's some of my shoes. And then there's some of his shoes. He also has, you probably can't see it, it's too dark in there, but there is another little shoe rack for his shoes as well. So, panning around here from the closet around the room, this is the bedside table that we have in here next to the bed, and this is just a little something, we don't have a headboard, so I just made like a little, I don't know, accent piece, whatever you want to call it, kind of to function as a headboard and put something on that wall besides it just being plain. My husband, he has a picture of his grandfather with Jimmy Hoffa's son, actually. Bedside table, which he primarily uses with his trinket box and some photos of his grandparents. And then the bed, we just have a queen size bed. Now there across the room, you're going to see the same thing as over here in this other corner. Yes, that's another one of my closets. What these are, and I'll show you that in a minute, are just those simple clothing racks that you can buy like at Walmart or Target or pretty much anywhere. I've also placed a board on top so that they can hold other things. Like there's a stack of blankets and some purses on top of that as well. We have the one window in here, which is open right now. And then in this corner, which I'll get closer to, I have another, it's like a baker's rack that I use to house like that jewelry in those boxes and boots and things like that. That's just all flip-flops. But I just have it to kind of organize. There's our electrical box. That's a fan up there, that little parrot guy, and it's going right now. It's just a little fan because there is no ceiling fan in this room. So I have to keep that one going pretty much. And just some artwork that I've put on the walls myself. There's our old air conditioner behind this here, which this area here, I'm backing up, is our dresser. So he has half and I have half, and then our TV just sits on top of it, which we really don't spend much time in here. and don't really use that TV, but it's there anyways. So about those closets, oh, and this is the back door. This door here leads to the backyard. Back to those closets. They're just these simple, you can kind of see, clothing rack kind of setup. And I've placed a board on top of them to make space to be able to just store more things. And then placed a curtain over it just to kind of conceal it and make it not look so crowded and messy in here. I've got stuff stored in the bottom of my closets as well, and totes and things like that. So it's not really a big room, but it functions, and it houses the things that we basically would need in a bedroom, like a cat. There's another one in the window. But, you know, it's a basic bedroom. Do I wish it had more closet space? Yes. One of the benefits, I guess, to this room is that it does have 3 working outlets, which the living room only has 1. So that's a benefit to the bedroom. We can plug our small electronics and things like that into it. Anywho, this is the bedroom. Last thing I'll give you a little insight in. That's just the bedroom door. So at least this room also has an actual door. But as I take down my purse, as you can see, I have something hanging over the door to kind of disguise it, along with a hanger, a rack. And that's because this door also had a hole in it. And you can see it's not in good shape. Landlord wasn't willing to do anything about this. It'll be fine. Just, you know, cover up the hole. It'll be fine. And that's his way of approaching, you know, any cosmetic issues or anything that he basically deems as doesn't really need repair and it'll function, and this is what you get for the price. So there's that. Anyway, this isn't going to be a really long video. There's not a lot to show. However, this room is actually got like some drywall and then some paneling that's somewhat nice. This down here is actually a giant area rug, and no, it's not stained yellow or anything. That's actually the patterns that are in the rug. It's as you can see, it's just odd. My mother-in-law also gave this to us, and it's basically the entire surface of the room. It's pretty large. I forget the exact dimensions, but it's a really large rug. And underneath it, I can kind of show you at the doorway here. At the doorway, you can see it's just that laminate wood that's down there underneath it. No, it's not bad. Actually, this room is probably the room that's in the best condition in the entire place. But it functions, and this is what you get for your lower cost living home. The light is just some light bulbs. Nothing fancy there either. So, anywho, was just going along with my little home tour that I've been making and giving you a perspective and what you can do, you know, and how you can, like with the closets, I mean, there just really isn't any closet space in this whole place. So you make do with something else and do the best you can with it. Is it ideal? No. But it functions and it works for me, just with the basic stuff that I have going on here. So, anywho, that's it for the bedroom, and I'll be doing that a really big food bank haul here in the next day or so. Until next time, bye-bye.